Good morning. I just think that the day after fair, I'm going to make it up for the 9 o'clock stream, which probably means I'll be late again tomorrow. Today's pack down day. So we have, the full day of fair, which I won't be there for. I don't get there until 2 because I have church responsibilities and it's a good thing. And then we stay until we get everything packed down. I did offer her an out, telling her, hey, you know what? Tom and I can come down and come up like next Sunday and do after church again, after service. We can come and we can take care of the little things that need to be done that you don't necessarily have to worry. So hopefully to get her to bed sooner and me out of there sooner. Because, I had the hour drive. She can just go to bed. But we'll see. All right, beloveds. It is November 28th. Our title is His Law is in My Heart and I Delight to Do His Will. Ooh, and we got a long one. That in which he findeth the supreme delight, which the reason can grasp beyond sense, wherein established he moveth, not from the reality. Which having been obtained, he thinketh there is no greater gain beyond it, wherein established he is not shaken, not even by by heavy sorrow. And that is from the Bhagavad Gita. All right. I know that the perfect life of the I know that the perfect life of the Spirit is my life, and I now permit it to radiate through my world of thought and action, to express in my physical form. As I relax my body, consciously and definitely, which I am able to do by mentally relaxing and dropping all strain, I feel flowing through me a vital energy, a dynamic force, a great surge of living power. I feel immersed in and saturated by a vital essence of perfection, which brings me into tune with life. Today, I let God's life live itself through me. I permit it to flow through me to others, that heaven shall be joined with earth, that the divine shall blend with the human, that love shall conquer fear, and a little child shall lead them. Because my whole being is this perfect God life, I have nothing to fear. Every person that I meet recognizes the love and peace and wisdom and courage within me. Each person I meet feels our common bond, knows that we are a part of the perfect whole, harmonious centers of the great unity of life, and so has faith in me. No one can wish to harm me or hurt me in any way. I, too, can know only love and understanding for my fellow beings. I know, because I am God life, God in expression, that every circumstance I find myself in is right for me. Through my consciousness of love, which is the very essence of God life, I transform any seeming imperfection into perfect idea of my true self. God knows me only as a perfect idea, and that perfection I now manifest. God's law is written in my heart, and I delight to do God's will. Okay, there's a lot of meat in this one, a whole lot of meat in this one, especially in that last paragraph. And it's one of the shorter ones, too. It goes back to what I like to talk about as God's idea of us, which is where we go for healing, be it mental, be it physical, be it spiritual. God's idea of us is perfect. God's idea of us is whole. God's idea of us is, like Amit Goswami likes to call it, the bliss body, where everything works exactly as it should. Now, when I say everything works exactly as it should, that doesn't mean it works exactly like everybody else's, okay? We are an infinite variety, so the way my body works is going to be different from, the way everybody else's body works. So I don't want anybody to get any ideas that perfect means flawless, and even there, flawless, society has a funny idea of flawless, okay? we come in this infinite variety of expressions for reasons, some of which we know and some of which we, they're ineffable. They're ineffable. And we just let that go and go, okay, I get it. I get it. But we are expressions of God. The life we are living is an expression of God. And he tagged in Emma right there. So every circumstance I find myself in is right for me. And Emma says, nobody will come to you that you can't help. So if you are in a situation, it means that there is something that you can do. And if you walk into a situation that needs to be fixed, it means that there's something that you can do. It does not mean you have to fix the whole situation. That's not necessarily yours. But it means that there's something that you can do. And I transform any seeming imperfection into the perfect idea of my true self, because who decided they were imperfect? And are we talking flawless or are we talking wholeness? And sometimes all you need is a change of perception and maybe a change of attitude. And I also like that they said that every person I meet recognizes the love, the peace, the wisdom, and the courage within me. They recognize the God within me. And then turns it around and says, each person I meet feels our common bond. Oh, well, there's another one beyond that. But each person feels our common bond. And that's what we're looking for. We are looking for that recognition that we are siblings in Christ. We are siblings in spirit. We are siblings in God. And so when we open ourselves up to that bond, it makes it easier for them to open themselves up for that bond. And they will, and sometimes people do it without realizing it. It's like we do it consciously, and they unconsciously respond to our conscious opening to that. And then somewhere along the line, it goes from unconscious to conscious within them. And we don't have to do anything or say anything other than treat them as the beloved siblings of God. All right? I know there was another one in there, so I'm going to go back through it and we'll find it. But, and yes, I did gender neutral that last line because the title is His Law is Written in My Heart and I Delight to Do His Will. I suspect it may be a Bible quote. So, and most likely from Job. If you've not read Job, I commend Job to you. So it's an interesting book. Okay, so the Bhagavad Gita, I can probably pick this one apart, but I'm going to let you do it. That in which he findeth the supreme delight, which the reason, that's a capital R, can grasp beyond the sense, wherein established he moveth not from the reality, which, having been obtained, he thinketh that there is no greater gain beyond it, wherein established he is not shaken by a heavy sorrow. That's from the Bhagavad Gita. And that's why I suspect that the title may be from Job, because that sounds like Job. It's like once Job figured out who he is, then it didn't matter what happened around him. He knew who he was, and he got on with it. I'm not saying he didn't suffer, okay? I'm not saying he didn't suffer. And I'm not saying that when things happen in your life that you won't suffer. But what I'm saying is that you will be able to get on with it. You will continue to be that expression of spirit, that expression of God, and you will, continue to do what it is that you do. Because when we say shaken by a heavy sorrow, we all have sorrows. We all have sorrows. Absolutely. It comes with living in the material world. It does. Because we lose people that we love. And so we will have sorrows. But we will not be shaken by them. We will not curl up into tiny little balls and not be able to continue to do. And that's the thing. It's like we will have sorrows, but we will not be shaken by them and we will not be stopped by them. All right? So don't ever think that you're not going, that having sorrows is inappropriate. I mean, I wish we didn't have to. But, so when you have them, you take that moment, you breathe, you do what you need to do, and then you move forward. And I'm not going to say move on, because we all carry them. We all carry them. We all carry them. So you just won't be shaken to your core, and it won't stop you from doing and being who you are. I know that the perfect life of spirit is my life, and I now permit it to radiate through my world of thought and action. So knowing and doing, two different things. Like, I know that my life is spirit, but I have to let it radiate through. I got to unkink that hose to express in my physical form. As I relax my body, consciously and definitely, meaning that I have the power to do that, which I am able to do by mentally relaxing and dropping all strain. Because I remember that there's something bigger than me that holds me gently, and that will give me everything I need, everything that I ask for to handle what I'm going through. So I can relax and go, we got this handled. It's not I got this handled. It's always we got this handled. Because there's a power back of you that will give you everything you need to handle it. I feel flowing through me a vital energy, a dynamic force, a great surge of living power. That's that greater back of me, greater back of you, greater back of us that I'm talking about. A great surge of living power. I feel immersed in and saturated by a vital essence of perfection, which brings me into tune with life. That is the point of spiritual practice. That is the point of spiritual practice, to come into tune with life, to feel that vital presence, to feel that vital energy, and to do it before we need it. That's why we do it every day. Because if we do it every day, it becomes a habit. And that means when we come up into those situations where we need it, we can drop into it like that because we've been practicing. Today, I let God's life live itself through me. I permit it to flow through me to others, that heaven shall be joined with earth, that the divine shall blend to others, that heaven... hang on. It's a short paragraph, and I think I just screwed it up. Okay, today I let God's life live itself through me. I permit it to flow through me to others, that heaven shall be joined with earth, that the divine shall blend with the human, that love shall conquer fear, and the little child shall lead them. You want a power statement, you want a mantra, you want something that you can sink your teeth into, there you go, the middle paragraph. All right? Because my whole being is this perfect God life. There's nothing of me that is not part of this God life. There is nothing in me that is not sacred. There is nothing in you that is not sacred. I have nothing to fear. For every person I meet recognizes the love, the peace, the wisdom, and the courage within me. If I am actively aware of my God life, my God expression, then people are going to sense it, even if they don't know what it is. We all know those people. We all know those, and because I was raised Catholic, those holy people. Sister Lucy. Sister Lucy lives, well, honestly, she's probably off the planet. She's probably moved on into her next evolution. But she might not be. But the Sister Lucy that I know lives her best life. She was joyous. She was happy. She did exactly. She was fun to be around, and she was comforting to be around. Like, she was the person you wanted to be around, you know, because she had that joy. And that's the kind of person I'm talking about. Those are people who know who they are, who know that they are children of God, and they consciously share it. She let us sing Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog in Sunday school. She's epic. She's epic. All right. So each person I meet feels our common bond, knows that we are sibling in Christ, knows that we are part of the perfect whole, harmonious centers in the great unity of life. There it is. Harmonious centers in the great unity of life. That is God's idea of us. Harmonious centers in the great unity of life. Which means we're not on the edge. We're not on the edge. We're not getting what's left over. We are harmonious centers. And each and every one of us is a harmonious center. You will not meet anybody who is not a center. They may not be harmonious, but we can see them that way. And they may start to see themselves that way, especially if we can treat them like that. It's like if you meet somebody who doesn't love themselves and you can treat them with love, then they might stop and think, hey, wait, what's going on here? Maybe I need to look at this. All right. And so has faith in me. No one could wish to harm or hurt me in any way. Wait. No, sorry. Oh, there's a period there at the end of this. I, too, can know only love and understanding for my fellow beings. There it is. If you want to know what the mission today, there it is. For my fellow beings. I know because I am God life, God in expression. In every circumstance I find myself is right for me. And again, if you show up, there's something you can do. But it doesn't mean you have to do it all. Through my consciousness of love, that which is the very essence of God life, I transform any seeming imperfection into the perfect idea of my true self. You are already whole. You are already love. God's just waiting for you to recognize it, for you to see it. God knows me only as the perfect idea, and that perfection I now manifest. God's law is written in our heart, and I delight to do God's will. All right, so the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to know only love and understanding for our fellow beings. Which, by the way, includes every living thing. Not just the two-leggeds. It includes the four-leggeds, the six-leggeds, the eight-leggeds, the 100-leggeds, or the no-leggeds. It includes the trees and the flowers and the grass. Love and understanding, people. That's what we're working on. God's expression and God's idea of us. Of love, of joy, of harmony, of creativity. It's about knowing who we are. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move into the process of my day, which means I need to go eat something. But, as I always do, I encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever it looks like. If it's big, if it's small, it does not matter. It is about taking care of yourself, about loving yourself, about creating a habit where your first response to anything going on around you is love, is kindness, is compassion, especially for yourself. Because once you can do it for yourself, you can do it for anybody. You can do it for anybody. Because frequently practicing that on other people is easier. All right, beloveds. I also am going to encourage you to engage your mind and your body, unless it is a day of rest. I do encourage you to take at least one day of rest, if not more. Go get a face full of sun, although it's still cloudy out there, so maybe not today. Get some bright light though. Get some bright light early in your day. Get that bright light. It really will help reset your energy and your sleep. And drink plenty of water. I don't think I drank enough yesterday, so I'm going to have to make up a little bit for that today. But take care of yourselves. Know that you're loved, always. And open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven, right here, right now. It's all around us, always. It is about us to see it. That's our job. If we look for it, we'll find it. If we find it, we'll make more. All right? Okay. So there is a service coming up at 11. It'll be amazing and awesome. We're going to wrap up the November series. And it'll be wonderful and good. And yes. So please join us on Facebook Live or in person for that. And it will be up on YouTube later. So Creative Life Spiritual Center is the Facebook and the YouTube. And then Creative Life Spark is the Instagram and the TikTok. I am the Running Rev Ryan on 3 of the 4. I have not joined TikTok yet. I say that every time because eventually I'm going to. All right. I've seen some really good ones lately. So, have a great day, an amazing day, an enchanting day, a restful day, an energetic day. Have the kind of day that you want to have. Have a good day. And if that's too much pressure, simply have a day. Whatever else you do, know that you are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. This is our state of grace. And I will see you next time. All right, beloveds.